Good afternoon, everyone. This is Mary Sunny Love, also known as. This is my fourth book, Let's Get Real Lessons Learned from the Field. As you know, we have been talking about my first book, Robbed of a Childhood, Raped by the System, and I started out reading a couple of chapters in it. And yesterday I was talking to my daughter, and she said, Mom, you always say your name like it's someone else introducing you. So that's why I said my name different today, because I'm Mary, also known as Sunny Love. But this book, my fourth one, and Let's Get Real, Lessons Learned from the Field, is by Dr. Mary Whitney, because as we know in life, we progress. And so I wanted to say, I want to read the acknowledgement from this book so you know there's a difference in how we read things sometimes. And so on the acknowledgement, it says, first of all, I would like to take this time to thank my readers and followers, my Lord and my children, and the motivation I received from my husband before completing this book. My husband of 20 years and I face many attacks from the enemy. Without my children's love and being who they are, I would not have had such passion to write this particular book. It is all and shall continue to be my belief that knowledge is power, and the least we allow ourselves to learn and to keep, the less we shall achieve. Life to me is a journey, one in which we have a huge role to play. We are the creators of our own adventures, and if we never dream, we will never explore too much. Do not rob yourself of this thing we call life, and we should charge it to ourselves to explore, learn, and teach all that we can to those we say we care about. A long time ago, I looked at my life and decided there had to be more that was precious to me than just living a life filled with senseless bouts of those things we call fun or reckless lifestyles. Had it not been for my children, I might have missed out on so much more. To those few people out there in the world whom I truly call my friends, I thank you for taking the time to love me. Being who you are has been a true blessing to me, so I am taking this time to share some of the experience I acquired along the road called life. I acknowledge that there is a lot I desire to leave behind so that the world may know I did exist. We are only as valuable as we believe we are to ourselves. If we feel we are the least of those, then truly that is all that we will ever be. However, when we come to the conclusion that we are created and established to be a very important part of our journeys, life opens up many doors for us all. In the midst of our busy lives, we must be willing to listen to that still, calm voice from within as we follow the prompting of our hearts. As again I say, this is Let's Get Real, Lessons Learned from the Field by Dr. Mary Whitney. I took for a title today, Setting Boundaries Without Guilt. I used to say and feel bad for saying no. We can't do everything for everyone. And I was trying to be everything, I believe, to everyone. And boundaries without walls are not healthy for us. But boundaries can be healthy doors. You get to decide who you let in, how long they get to stay, and how they treat you. Because sometimes we get accustomed to allowing people to just treat us any way they desire to treat us. And if someone cannot respect your boundaries, that's not your loss. A young man by the name of Trent, I used to watch on YouTube a lot, highly intellectual young man, would always say, protect your peace. But how do you protect your peace when you have always been living a chaotic life? And I say I learned, as I said in earlier clips, to affirm who I am, even if I had to write it on the mirror, something special to brighten my day, if I had to read a new book, if I journaled, if I colored. My daughter loves doing what's called diamond art. Anything we can do to pump ourselves up and take ourselves out of that just being in survival mode, I say helps. And I like to breathe in deeply in my tummy, hold it, and eventually exhale. Breathe in, hold it, exhale. Breathe in, hold it, and then I exhale. And I can just feel my body tingling. I can feel me getting out of that anxiety that sometimes builds up in our thinking. And sometimes if I'm puffed up, if I'm upset with someone, it helps me calm myself and get back into my logic and my prefrontal cortex and not locked into my amygdala, where it seems like I'm always having my foot on the gas pedal and I react and I don't get to calm myself down so I can just be cool, as they say, and we can just respond in a calm manner. And as I said a while ago, I studied responding versus reacting, and it always upset me that everyone thinks that when we're hurt or when we're in our feelings that we're reactionary people rather than being calm and cool and collective. And sometimes that might be true. And sometimes the label people place on us may pump them up, but sometimes those labels that we place on other people, it's just me inside my own thinking, not liking something in them that made me think and reflect on some of my own mannerisms. Because I think a lot of times reaction come from the way another person may stimulate my thinking or may cause me to get reactionary, and nobody can cause me to do anything, because anything I do inside myself comes from me, not from them. And I know what it's like, reflecting back on my childhood memories of being controlled when I didn't desire to be controlled, being prompted into things that we don't always like to do. Those things were harmful and hurtful at times. And as I got older and I could label and share and put language on the things that I was feeling or thinking, things began to open up for me, and I began to learn how to react or respond in a different way. And I'm thankful for all the trainings and the different programs and the different books that I have read, because when you're raising children, a lot of times you don't have time to read books or check into resources. And sometimes we make excuses saying, well, I don't have time for school right now because I'm being a mom. But we make time for whatever we like doing. And why can't we make time for educating ourselves? Even outside schools, there's many books that I've gleaned from and many people that I've learned from in conversation and exploring our lives and our journeys. And there's always somebody out there in the world who's going through same or similar things that we're going through. Their reactions, their responsive may not be the same as ours, but everybody goes through something. And I found a book called the Bible. And at times when I'd read it, I'd get lost in scripture. And it would give me understandings of my behavior sometimes. And I'm grateful for that great book that helped pull me out of my previous ways of behaviors. And so today I say to you, find whatever it is that can pull you out of your own thinking. I thank all of you who have been with me. I thank all of you who have subscribed to my YouTube. I thank all of you guys who have liked what has been shared and those who have placed comments. I hope you have a great day. I want you to take care of yourself, do something special, even if it's writing a paragraph in your journal. Do that to lift yourself up. You deserve to be loved, to be valued, to appreciate who you are. I'll talk with you again tomorrow. Thank you so much, and you have a great day. Let's get real. Lessons learned from the field.